Welcome back, folks. Today the topic of interest is 8 reasons why people fail, part 6. So if you're new to the series, we welcome you. At this moment in time, we've already covered 5 common reasons why people fail. So what we've covered up until this point is being a perfectionist, making excuses, allowing yourself to be distracted, a lack of application on the things that you know, and caring too much what other people think. Today, we'll be targeting specifically procrastination. So I want to give you guys my definition of procrastination, just so that we've got a clear definition to work with and then we can really start breaking things down. So first of all, what the definition I've got for procrastination is, simply put, you just putting off a particular task simply because you believe that painful emotions will be associated to completing that task. So a lot of the time you think procrastination means that you're lazy. It's not that you're lazy. You're just trying to avoid difficult emotions. So you don't do that dissertation because you think if I do that dissertation, I'm going to feel frustration. I'm going to feel anxious. I'm going to feel, worried. I'm going to feel all these unpleasant emotions that I don't want to experience. I'm going to experience fear. I don't want these emotions. So what your mind does is it tricks you. It tells you, hey, we don't got to do this right now. We can do it tomorrow. We'll do it later. We'll do it in a couple hours time. Now, the reason your mind is telling you that is because the mind's rationale is to think that later down the line, things will be different. There'll be a more ideal time to complete the task, or maybe you feel differently about going about the task later. The reality of life is that there is no such thing as the perfect time. So it's unlikely that you're going to feel differently about the task all of a sudden. So the time is now. So you never really feel like, I got to put off watching that Netflix movie that I really want to see. No, it's always in things that you associate pain towards. So I've highlighted a couple ways that we can really overcome this. So the first thing that I think will help with overcoming this is to, first of all, to stop judging ourselves. So a lot of the time when you do procrastinate, or if you've procrastinated a lot, there's a tendency for you to judge yourself harshly. So you beat yourself down. You think, I'm no good. I should have completed this a while ago. I should have been done 3 days ago. Judging yourself doesn't help anybody. I can see it comes from an admirable place because you want more for yourself. But the reality of life is that if you're judging yourself, you just increase the likelihood that you're going to make the same mistakes again or make the same decisions again. So you just want to make it okay. You're a human being. It's okay. Okay, don't judge yourself for it, man. Let it go. It's all good. The second thing that you want to do is you want to set up your environment to make it as easy as possible for you to make the right decisions, to do the things that you need to do. Because already with this task, there's resistance there. Already you don't want to do it. So you want to make it as easy and as seamless as possible for you to just slide right in to do the thing that you need to do. So for example, if it's the case that you need to write a dissertation, what can you do to make it easy for yourself? If you don't need the internet, you can turn the internet off so there's no distractions. You can move your mobile phone in a completely different room. You can put your laptop down by your desk, open up the tab that you need open, and have it ready and waiting for you so that when you walk in that room, everything's set up and laid out for you. It's already there, right? So we're making it as easy as possible for you to execute. The next thing that you want to do is you want to break down your tasks. So break down the task. So a lot of the time with procrastination, you feel like the task that you're going to be doing is overwhelming. So in your mind's eye, you need to break it down so it feels like it's achievable, something that you can do. So I remember when I was doing the heartbreak course, that was the first course I did. It felt like an overwhelming thing. I thought, oh my God, look at this mountain. I have to do a whole course. But when it comes to completing a huge task or a huge project, what you got to understand is that a project is really made up of small little parts. So you want to break down the project into small little parts, small little actionable steps, so it doesn't seem as overwhelming and it doesn't seem as overbearing. Because once it feels like, these are the small steps that I need to do, and it doesn't feel so big, you're now in a position where you feel like you can do it. So you want to chunk it right down. So chunk down the task that you need. The next thing that you want to do is you want to reestablish what success means to you at this moment in time. So what I'd suggest is having input goals as opposed to output goals to begin with. Input versus output. So when I'm saying input goals, what I'm talking about is you setting goals based on the efforts that you put in. So not necessarily based on the outcome that you get, but the effort that you're putting in, unless it's time bound. But just to begin with, for the most part, I suggest just the effort that you put in. We focus on the effort. So what does that look like? So rather than you thinking, I got to complete my whole dissertation today, what you can say is, I'm going to put 25 minutes of work into this. And whatever I get out of the 25 minutes is what I get out. So you set that alarm clock and you work for 25 minutes and then you're done. What will tend to happen is that when you set yourself that input goal, if you're going to work for 25 minutes, more than likely you probably will get into flow state and you probably want to do more. But if it's the case that you don't, then that's fine. Once the 25 minutes are up, you log out, you're done. You shut that laptop. I'm done for the day. That's it. I've done my 25 minutes. The reason I say that is because What we need from you now at this moment in time is we just need you to pick up momentum. Momentum is the most important thing. Momentum is the thing that's going to carry you over the line. Because like in physics, what they call it Newton's first law, which is the law of inertia. So the law of inertia basically says that objects that are at rest tend to stay at rest, but objects that are in motion tend to stay in motion and pick up speed. Meaning that once you get going, it's easier to keep going. It's kind of like when you go to the park when you were a kid and you had that little like merry-go-round thing where you get all your friends would get on and you push them and you be pushing and you be running. What you find in that merry-go-round thing is that when you start pushing, it's like the heaviest thing in the world. Your friends are heavy. They're like, yo, you gotta keep pushing, push harder. And you push and you push and you push. So like the first 2 rounds are like the hardest thing ever. But once the merry-go-round starts, picking up speed and picking up momentum, it's easier to push. So you start pushing and it gets faster and faster and faster. And then you're able to hop on the merry-go-round and enjoy the spinning with your friends. And then you're able to hop off and then just quickly push again. And then the speed maintains. It's easier to keep going when you've already got yourself in motion. The hardest thing is just getting yourself in motion. So that momentum is the thing that's going to carry you forward. And that's what a lot of people do who are successful in what they do is they get momentum. Once you get momentum, things compound over time and the results come. So we just need you to get some momentum. So set yourself some input goals. So input goals, amount of effort that you put in per time. And then that will help you overcome procrastination. So what have we covered? Forgive yourself, so not judging yourself. Setting up your environment to make it as easy as possible for yourself, breaking down the tasks so that it seems manageable and it doesn't seem so overwhelming, and then set yourself some input goals because that's really going to help you out. Video done.